Medusa's story is a tragedy, one that has echoed through the ages. It is a tale of beauty, betrayal, and monstrous transformation, a narrative that has captivated and horrified generations. Before she became the infamous Gorgon, Medusa was a priestess in Athena's temple, a role she cherished deeply. She was known for her captivating beauty, with long flowing hair and piercing eyes that seemed to hold the mysteries of the world. Her life was dedicated to the service of the goddess, living a life of piety and devotion, a beacon of purity in a world filled with chaos. Little did she know that her beauty would become the source of her downfall, attracting the attention of a god and the wrath of a goddess, setting the stage for her tragic fate. Medusa's life as a priestess was one of quiet contemplation and ritual, a serene existence that she believed would last forever. She tended to the sacred flames within Athena's temple, her days filled with prayers and offerings, each act a testament to her unwavering faith. Her beauty, while admired by many, was not something she dwelled upon, for she saw it as a mere reflection of the goddess she served. She saw it as a gift to the goddess, a reflection of Athena's own radiance, a symbol of her divine favor. But fate, it seemed, had other plans for the young priestess, plans that would shatter her peaceful existence. Her beauty, so pure and innocent, would soon become a curse, a burden that would transform her life forever. The temple, a place of peace and sanctuary, stood in stark contrast to the chaos that would soon engulf Medusa's life, a life that was about to be turned upside down. Within its walls, she felt safe, protected by the goddess she served, unaware of the storm that was brewing. She moved with grace and serenity, her presence a calming influence on all who crossed her path, a living embodiment of the temple's tranquility. But even the strongest walls cannot hold back the tides of fate, and Medusa's life was about to be irrevocably changed, her destiny rewritten by forces beyond her control. The serenity of the temple would soon be a distant memory, replaced by the chilling reality of her curse, a curse that would echo through eternity. Poseidon, the mighty god of the sea, was captivated by Medusa's beauty. Her allure was unlike anything he had ever seen, and it drew him in like a siren's call. He desired her, and in his lustful pursuit, he violated the sanctity of Athena's temple, a place meant for worship and reverence. This act of sacrilege, a transgression against both Medusa and the goddess she served, filled Athena with an unquenchable rage. The goddess of wisdom and war could not tolerate such disrespect. The sanctity of her temple had been violated, her priestess defiled. The air was thick with the weight of the offense. Athena's anger was swift and terrible. Her eyes blazed with a fury that could not be contained. Feeling betrayed by both Poseidon and Medusa, she sought to punish the priestess. Her heart, once filled with wisdom, now burned with vengeance. Athena's fury knew no bounds. It was a force of nature, unstoppable and relentless. She could not strike down Poseidon, her fellow Olympian, so her wrath was directed at Medusa. The innocent priestess became the target of divine retribution. This was not a just punishment, many argued, for Medusa was a victim in this transgression. She had no power against the god of the sea, but Athena's anger, once ignited, was not easily extinguished. It burned like an eternal flame, consuming all reason. The temple, once a place of peace, became a stage for this divine drama. The echoes of their actions would reverberate through history. Poseidon, blinded by his desire, saw only Medusa's beauty, not the sacred ground he defiled. His actions were driven by a primal urge. Medusa, trapped by the god's advances, could only cower in fear, her pleas for mercy lost in the echoing halls. Her cries were a haunting melody of despair. Above it all, Athena's rage crackled like lightning, her anger threatening to consume everything in its path. The goddess's wrath was a storm that would forever change Medusa's fate. Athena, in her fury, transformed Medusa into a hideous monster, a punishment that would echo through the ages. Her once beautiful hair turned into venomous snakes, writhing and hissing, a living nightmare that crowned her head. Her eyes, once filled with kindness and warmth, now held the power to turn any living creature to stone with a single petrifying glance. Medusa, once the epitome of beauty and grace, became the embodiment of terror, the feared Gorgon of ancient lore. Her name, whispered in hushed tones, became synonymous with fear and death, a legend that haunted the darkest corners of the mind. The transformation was agonizing, a cruel mockery of her former self, a torment that never ceased. Her smooth skin hardened and turned a sickly green, her delicate features contorted into a grotesque mask of horror. The snakes, a living crown of vipers, constantly fought and bit each other, their venom dripping from her scalp in a never-ending battle. Her voice, once sweet and melodic, became a raspy hiss, a sound that chilled even the bravest heart to its core. The once radiant priestess was gone, replaced by a creature both pitiable and terrifying, a stark contrast to her former beauty. She was banished to the farthest corners of the earth, a pariah feared by gods and mortals alike, living in desolation and isolation. Her reflection, once a source of pride and joy, now filled her with horror and despair, a constant reminder of her cursed fate. The curse, a constant reminder of Athena's wrath, had transformed her into a monster both inside and out, a tragic figure in the annals of mythology.